This is probably going to be a very short video since you can see that there are only 6 creatures behind me. However, all of these 6 creatures are not only harder to get but immensely powerful. So without further ado, let's begin. However, before we go through all of the abilities, let's go through on how you're going to get yourself on all of these creatures in the first place. This is just a short refresher. First, you have to make a research station. And in the research station, which are powered by electronics, you can make these blueprints. To get these blueprints, you just have to put in whatever they want. And most of it requires you to make a second, the hybrid first before you can turn it into the operations. And now we'll be going through the operations, or the operation hybrid. And all the operation hybrid has a name to them. However, for example, the Dano Sapien is called Operation Sapien. The Gigaplophosora is known as Operation Exo. The Panther Anubis is known as Operation Anubis. The Super Laurel Titan is Operation Banshee. The Ultra Xenovenator is Operation Urban Fear. And lastly, the Ultima Titanuranus is Operation Shaman. All of these operations, as you can tell, requires their blueprint and also a lot of resources. So these operations hybrids are not easy to get, but I can tell you first, they are well worth it. So without further ado, let's begin. First up is the Gigaplophosora, which is a heavily modified Diplospinosaurus with Tyrannosaurus, Spinosaurus, Tapejara, and Athropereira DNA, as you can tell from the shiny back. The Gigaplophosora does not need any saddle, so you can just hop on and ride and run away. Also, by the way, this color is sick. It's like the green and black. First up is his left click. It is a bite attack. And one thing to note that upon eating corpses, it has exoskeleton regeneration, which instantly heals itself after eating a corpse. Next up is Raw. The Raw will give the creature a 60% damage resistance for 6 seconds. As you can tell, I'm receiving much less damage than now. C-Key is a hit bash attack. And since I have been damaged by a bit, you can see now I have this amount of HP. And upon eating a corpse, I literally just heal back all my HP and more. So its C-Key is a heavy hit bash attack. This deals acid, this uses acid and is heavy hit to destroy metal. So this ability is good for metal destruction. Also, on a side note, this creature has an armor that has high resistance against bullets, so it is your siege machine. And lastly, X-Key is its stomp attack, which deals heavy knockback even to a Diplodocus, and also quite a big amount of damage, as you can tell. And that was the Gigaplophosora, also known as Operation Exo. Next up is not my most favorite operation, to be honest, is Operation Sapien, which makes Dano Sapien. Just look at it. This creature is a super hybrid consisting of every raptor dino with some sprinkled human DNA on top. No, just no, but regardless, this is probably the easiest hybrid you can get, as it only requires this particular thing, your specimen implant, or any specimen implant to be exact. The Dano Sapien does not need any saddles. So left click is a claw attack, which just scratches the opponent. Additionally, this claw attack is able to harvest corpse and harvest a lot of fiber. Next up is right click, which is Ferocious Pounce. As you can tell, it kind of pins the creature while dealing immense damage to it. C-Key is Trudon Venom. It's a bite that inflicts Trudon Venom. But I don't see the Trudon Venom. Now, lastly, X-Key is Suffering Rage, which increases the damage output by 50% while increasing its speed by 25%. I now do around 218 damage, but upon activating it, I deal 328 damage. And also I run a little bit faster, as you can tell. However, the Dino Sapien can hold things in his hand. Whether that will increase the damage dealt, I'm gonna try it right now. Fun fact, I did not know this. I just saw it and decided to try it out. No, it does not increase damage. But before I deem it so, let me try one last thing. Yep, it does not increase damage. It just looks funny to see this guy holding a sword, I guess. I mean, look at it. So this is the Dino Sapien, also known as Operation Sapien. Next up is the Ultra Xenovenator, which is a heavily modified Lasioshaloraptor with Giga, Compi, and Raptor DNA. For its saddle wise, it uses the Giga saddle. Left click is a bite attack that can damage metal. Right click is Controlled Rage. Upon activation, you deal 1.5 times damage and then there's a 45-second cooldown. As you can see, I do significantly more damage now. B key is Hatchet Bite, which is a heavy bite attack. Just do slightly more damage compared to your normal bite attack. And X key is a headbutt attack that can apparently push large creature away, but not large enough, and it also deals damage. And that was the Ultra Xenovenator, also known as Operation Urban Fear. Next up is the Suprapeloro Titan, which is a heavily modified Caliorex. For saddle wise, it does not need any saddle. So his left click is a horn attack, and you can see. For his right click is a Storm, a charge storm that deals, more damage. For his C key is a tail swipe attack that hits enemy from behind. So this only attacks enemy from behind. If I were to use it from the front, it doesn't do anything. X key is Adamant Defender. So upon activating it, I gain a buff for 10 seconds and they deal half the damage to me, as it gives armor to both the team and myself. And next, this is the amount of damage I deal with my left click, but while using Control X, I gain the buff Adamant Fighter, which increases my attack by 50% to all teams and also myself. And yeah, this is the Super Rapello Titan, also known as Operation Banshee. Up next is this giant, the Ultima Titanuranus. This Titan uses the Titanosaurus saddle as its saddle. Rightfully so, it's huge. So, its left click is a tail swipe attack that also harvests quite a bit of stuff. Additionally, it deals quite a bit of damage too. Its right click is a Stomp attack that also deals quite a hefty sum of damage, and this also helps you harvest rocks nearby, rocks and metal. C key is Rock Formation, which basically throws a bunch of rocks. The aim, on the other hand, leaves a lot to be desired. I'm surprised I even hit 2. Next up is the songs. So to toggle between the songs, you have to press Control. And as you can see, there's only 2 songs, Song of Despair and Song of Harmony. So Song of Harmony basically gives dinos or tames, they will first clear the negative debuffs, gives dinos extra speed and a slight health regen in a large area. Song of Despair, on the other hand, first off, let me do a swipe. That's the amount of damage I deal with the tail swipe. Song of Despair will reduce the armor and damage to enemies for a couple of seconds, and then will then amplify that debuff for 2 seconds by 2 times. As you can see, they are doing much less damage to me, and when I hit them, I do way more damage. One more thing to note is that for the Operation Shaman, Q key is pretty much a plasma breath attack. It's a little bit hard to hit, so try to aim it properly, I guess. like so. And that was the Ultima Titan New Ranus, also known as Operation Shaman. And lastly is the Panther Anubis. So before we start, the Panther Anubis actually has a buff, or rather a innate passive, that makes it deal additional damage to rogue hybrids. What are rogue hybrids? The next video will explain it all. So let's begin with his ability. So for his first ability, his left click basically has a lot to uncover. So its left click is a bite attack that will deal armor reduction with every bite to the creatures. So let's summon something relatively big for it. And when I bite it, as you can see, the armor reduction starts building up. But the more I bite, the more it will build up. And with the more I build up, the more damage I will deal. And once it reaches a maximum of 100, I will not be able to increase any further, but I will do more damage than I initially started with. His right click is swipe attack. Its C key is an elemental switch attack, which has a 50% chance of dealing either burn or freezing debuff, which I'm going to show now. And you see, this time it dealt fire, and apparently it's igniting for some reason. Now, next, then show the ice. And now I do ice, which deals frosty. However, just a short disclaimer. Sometimes the Panther Anubis attacks multiple times in quick succession, and I do not have any idea how that works. And lastly is its X ability. X ability is Curse of Anubis. This will create a sphere around itself, which will rapidly heal itself when there are enemies within the sphere. They will also become slowed and slowly deal damage by the sphere. And Anubis also becomes slow. So upon activation, as you can see, I have all of these creatures having the Curse of Anubis. I have this blood flow thing similar to the Blood Wyvern coming back to me. So yeah, this is Panther Anubis, also known as Operation Anubis. Yeah, and with that, we have come to the end of the Operation Hybrids video for Sid's Hybrid. Up next, we'll be talking about Rogue Hybrids and what are they and how do you get them. This has been Kasu, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!